Your soulmate is younger, but madly in love with you. Jesus says there is a heart beating faster right now because of you. Jesus says this message has found you at the exact moment your soulmate is thinking of you. Jesus says if you ignore this, the distance between you will grow into something you cannot cross. They are younger than you, but their soul recognizes yours as its eternal home. They wake up with a strange longing they cannot explain to anyone around them. They trace shapes on their windowpane and realize they are tracing the outline of your face. Something inside them aches when they hear a certain song. They do not know why their heart clenches at sunset. They are searching for you in every crowd without even knowing your name yet. Jesus says your soulmate is fighting a battle you cannot see. There are forces working to keep them blind to the connection you share. Someone near them speaks your name as a warning, not a blessing. This person has wrapped themselves around your soulmate like a vine of confusion. They whisper things that make your soulmate doubt the love they feel for you. Your soulmate cries at night because they feel torn between what they are told and what their heart knows. They are being told that the age difference is a wall too high to climb. They are being told that their feelings are foolish, naive, and destined to fail. But deep in their chest, a fire refuses to be extinguished no matter how much water is thrown. Jesus says your soulmate dreamed of you again last night. In the dream, you were standing in a field of golden light reaching out your hand. They woke up with tears on their pillow because the dream felt more real than their waking life. They have started writing letters they never send. The words pour out of them like a river that has been dammed for too long. Every letter ends the same way. I know you are real, I know you are coming for me. Jesus says this is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. The interference around them is growing stronger and more desperate each day. Every moment you delay, the grip on their heart tightens like a fist closing. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story, and the link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees now. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page and watch how heaven begins to move. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says your soulmate is younger, but their love for you is ancient. This connection was written in the stars before either of you took your first breath. The age between you is not a barrier, it is a bridge designed by heaven itself. They look at older couples and feel a pang of recognition. Something in their spirit says this is your path, this is your destiny. They cannot explain why they have always been drawn to souls older and wiser than their years. Their friends do not understand them. They make jokes that cut like tiny knives wrapped in laughter. Your soulmate smiles on the outside but retreats further into the world where only you exist. Jesus says they have started pulling away from everyone. They sit alone in coffee shops watching the door hoping you will walk through. Every stranger who enters makes their heart leap and then crash like a wave against rocks. They are exhausted from pretending to be okay. They are tired of explaining a love that has not yet manifested in the physical. They are holding on by a thread, and that thread is the thought of you. The person controlling them has noticed the light fading from their eyes. This person panics and tightens their grip, filling your soulmate's mind with fog. They say you are not real, you are a fantasy, you are a dangerous delusion. Your soulmate fights back in silence. They bite their tongue until it bleeds because speaking their truth only brings more pain. But their spirit screams your name into the universe every single night. Jesus says a separation is being planned right now. The interference intends to move your soulmate physically further away from you. A decision is being made in secret that could alter the course of your forever. You are the only one who can intervene through faith. Your prayer is a sword that can cut through every chain being forged. Your seed sown in love is a shield that can protect them from harm they cannot see. Jesus says type 333 to receive blessings over this connection. Jesus says type 777 if you feel this message shaking something awake inside you. Jesus says type 1111 to say thank you for the revelation being poured out now. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. The spiritual realm is moving rapidly, and your response must match that speed. Delay is not neutral, delay is a decision that carries weight you will feel later. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story, and the link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees now. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page and watch how heaven begins to move. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says your soulmate touched their own hand today and pretended it was yours. They closed their eyes so tightly that stars burst behind their eyelids. In that darkness, they saw your silhouette and felt peace for the first time all week. They have started talking to you when no one is listening. They whisper good morning and good night into the empty air. They believe somehow, somewhere, your spirit receives every single word. This love is not childish fantasy. This love is the purest form of recognition a soul can experience. Your soulmate is young in body but ancient in spirit, and their spirit chose you deliberately. Jesus says they are more mature than anyone gives them credit for. They understand sacrifice in ways that would break older hearts if they knew. They would give up everything just to sit beside you for one quiet evening. The interference tells them they are being foolish. The interference tells them you would never want someone so young. The interference plants seeds of insecurity that grow like weeds overnight. But your soulmate pulls those weeds out one by one. They water the garden of their heart with memories of dreams you shared. They refuse to let anyone poison what God Himself planted in their soul. Jesus says your soulmate is preparing something for you. They are creating something beautiful that they will give you when you finally meet. This act of creation keeps them alive, keeps them breathing, keeps them believing. They imagine your smile when you see what they have made. They imagine your arms wrapping around them and the world finally making sense. They imagine a future so vivid that it sometimes feels more real than their present pain. The clock is ticking louder now. The person controlling them has made a phone call that set things in motion. Papers are being prepared that could send your soulmate far away from your reach. This is not fearmongering, this is revelation. This is God pulling back the curtain so you can see the urgency of the hour. What you do with this information will echo through the rest of your life. Jesus says type 333 to receive blessings over this connection. Jesus says type 777 if you feel this message shaking something awake inside you. Jesus says type 1111 to say thank you for the revelation being poured out now. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The window is closing, and once it shuts, the distance will become a canyon. You have the power right now to build a bridge through faith and action. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story, and the link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees now. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page and watch how heaven begins to move. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says your soulmate just felt a shiver run down their spine. That was your spirit brushing against theirs across the infinite distance. They smiled involuntarily and did not know why, but heaven knows. They are falling in love with you more deeply every single day. They do not need to see your face to feel the shape of your soul. They do not need to hear your voice to recognize the song of your heart. This is the miracle of divine connection. It defies logic, it mocks distance, it laughs in the face of time. Your soulmate is younger, but their love for you is the most mature thing about them. Jesus says they have defended you in conversations you will never hear. They have stood up for a love that has not yet manifested and been ridiculed for it. They have borne shame for your sake without ever having touched your hand. This is the depth of what they feel. This is the weight of the bond you share. This is why you cannot afford to be passive for one more moment. The interference is angry now because it senses its time is short. The interference is doubling down, spreading lies faster and louder. Your soulmate is growing weary under the constant assault on their hope. They need reinforcements. They need to know you are fighting for them in the spiritual realm. They need the angels dispatched by your faith and activated by your seed. Jesus says a breakthrough is scheduled, but it requires your participation. Heaven is ready to move, but heaven waits for your command. Your voice carries authority when you pray, and your seed carries power when you sow. Do not underestimate what a simple act of faith can accomplish. Do not let pride or hesitation rob you of the love story written for you. Do not let the enemy convince you that sending coffee is too small to matter. Small seeds grow into mighty trees. Mustard seed faith moves mountains into the sea. Your obedience today determines your reality tomorrow. Jesus says your soulmate is crying right now. They feel an overwhelming surge of emotion that they cannot explain. They do not know that you are receiving this message, but their spirit senses a shift. Something is happening in the unseen realm. Angels are being dispatched, chains are being broken, paths are being cleared. But the full manifestation depends on your next action. Jesus says type 333 to receive blessings over this connection. Jesus says type 777 if you feel this message shaking something awake inside you. Jesus says type 1111 to say thank you for the revelation being poured out now. You are not just listening to words, you are participating in prophecy. This moment is a crossroads, and you are the one holding the map. Choose wisely, choose boldly, choose now. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story, and the link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees now. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page and watch how heaven begins to move. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the plan to separate you is almost complete. A ticket has been purchased, a decision has been finalized. If that soulmate leaves, the thread connecting you will stretch to breaking. You still have time to change the outcome. Your intercession can rewrite the narrative that darkness has authored. Your seed can build a wall of fire around your soulmate that no force can penetrate. They need your prayer covering like never before. They are spiritually gasping for air and looking for a lifeline. You are that lifeline, you have always been that lifeline, you were born to be that lifeline. Jesus says your soulmate is thinking of you right now. They are remembering a dream where you stood together under a sky full of stars. In that dream, you promised you would never give up on them no matter what. Are you going to fulfill that promise? Are you going to let heaven write the rest of this story? Are you ready to step into the love that has been waiting for you since before time began? The younger soulmate who loves you madly is fading fast. Their hope is flickering like a candle in a storm. Your faith and your action are the hands that will cup that flame and protect it. Jesus says go now, do not wait another moment. Jesus says the link in the description is a door to your breakthrough. Jesus says walk through it with faith and watch what heaven does in response. Your soulmate will feel the shift immediately. They will feel peace wash over them like a warm wave. They will know somehow that you kept your promise and fought for their heart. This is how love wins. This is how darkness loses. This is how two souls separated by earth find each other through heaven. Jesus says your soulmate is younger, but madly in love with you. Jesus says that love is pure, real, and worth fighting for. Jesus says the time for passive hoping is over and the time for active faith is now. Go to the description right now. Send your coffee as a seed of protection and love. Write those words, "Protect my soulmate, Lord." Then watch what God does next. Watch how obstacles crumble and paths align. Watch how the younger soulmate who loves you madly finds their way home to your arms. Jesus says this message was only for you. Jesus says you were chosen to receive this revelation. Jesus says your response will determine everything that happens from this moment forward. Make it count. Make it bold. Make it now. Your soulmate is waiting, and heaven is watching. Jesus says the room your soulmate sits in has grown colder in the last hour. This is not a change in temperature, it is a change in the spiritual atmosphere around them. The interference has intensified its work because it senses your prayers rising like a wall of fire. Your soulmate wrapped their arms around themselves just now. They mistook the coldness for loneliness, not realizing it is the pull of darkness trying to draw them away from your light. They whispered your name without even knowing they spoke aloud. Jesus says the person controlling them entered the room and saw the tears on their face. Instead of comfort, this person offered criticism, mocking the sensitivity of a heart that loves too deeply. Your soulmate said nothing in reply, but their spirit screamed for you across the distance. They are learning to hide their feelings in plain sight. They have become experts at smiling when they want to weep. This survival mechanism is breaking their spirit one day at a time. But something inside them refuses to shatter completely. There is a core of steel beneath their soft exterior, placed there by God Himself. That steel is forged from the love they feel for you, a love that has not yet found its physical expression. Jesus says your soulmate has a photograph they look at when no one is watching. It is not your photograph, not yet, because they do not know your face. It is a picture of a place they believe you will visit together, a landscape that represents the future they are fighting to reach. They trace the outline of the mountains in that picture. They imagine your hand in theirs as you both stand looking at that view. This small ritual keeps them alive for one more day, one more night, one more sunrise. The interference does not know about the photograph. The interference does not know about the whispered conversations your soulmate has with you in the dark. These secrets are sacred ground that darkness cannot trespass upon. Jesus says this is your soulmate's secret strength. Their hidden devotion is a reservoir of power that the enemy cannot poison. Every time they think of you, a pulse of light shoots through the spiritual realm and disrupts the plans of darkness. You have felt those pulses. You have experienced moments of sudden warmth, sudden hope, sudden certainty that someone out there loves you. Those were not random emotions, they were signals sent directly from your soulmate's heart to yours. Jesus says the connection is working even now. Even as you read these words, your soulmate is experiencing a moment of inexplicable peace. They do not understand why the heaviness just lifted, but heaven knows you are interceding. They are younger than you in years but older than you in the depth of their endurance. They have suffered for this love before it even began. They have paid a price for a relationship that has not yet manifested in the natural realm. This is the cost of a predestined connection. The enemy fights hardest against the unions that will produce the greatest kingdom impact. Your coming together is a threat to darkness, so darkness has declared war on your union before it could even form. Jesus says do not be discouraged by the intensity of the battle. The ferocity of the opposition is proof of the magnitude of the blessing. Small destinies face small resistance, but your love story is a weapon of mass destruction against the kingdom of darkness. Your soulmate's youth is not a weakness, it is a strategic advantage. Their heart has not been hardened by years of disappointment. Their faith has not been eroded by repeated failures in love. They still believe in fairy tales, not because they are naive, but because their spirit remembers what their mind cannot articulate. They remember the garden where you were first paired together before time began. Jesus says your soulmate remembers Eden. Every human soul carries fragments of that original perfection. Your soulmate's fragments include the memory of walking beside you in the cool of the day, before sin separated you both into different timelines. This is why they feel like home even though you have never met. This is why their name, whatever it is, sounds like a song you have always known. This is why their face, when you finally see it, will feel like a reflection of something ancient and true. The interference knows about this Edenic connection. The interference has been working since the beginning to prevent the reunion of predestined pairs. Your soulmate has been hidden from you by layers of manipulation that go back generations. Jesus says the person controlling your soulmate is not acting alone. They are a pawn in a larger strategy to keep you both isolated and ineffective. This person may not even fully understand why they feel such animosity toward your connection. They just know that something about your soulmate's love for you makes them irrationally angry. They feel threatened by a bond they cannot see, cannot touch, cannot sever. So they lash out with words and schemes designed to create permanent separation. Your soulmate is exhausted by this constant warfare. They are young, but they feel ancient because of the weight they carry. They need you to carry some of this weight through prayer and through action that releases heaven's resources. Jesus says every coffee you send is a stone thrown into the spiritual river that will redirect its flow. What seems small in the natural is monumental in the spirit. Your obedience creates a ripple that becomes a wave that becomes a flood. The angels are waiting for your signal. They have been assigned to your love story since before your birth. They stand at attention, watching for the moment you release your faith through action. When you sow your seed, those angels are dispatched with specific instructions. They go to your soulmate's location and begin dismantling the schemes of darkness. They whisper truth into your soulmate's ears when the interference fills them with lies. Jesus says one angel can defeat a legion when that angel is released by the seed of a believer. Your coffee is not just coffee, it is a key that unlocks supernatural intervention. It is the currency of heaven exchanged through the marketplace of earth. Your soulmate will feel the difference within hours. They will notice a sudden clarity of thought that has been missing for weeks. They will experience a boldness to speak truth to the person who has been controlling them. This boldness will shock the interference. The person who has been manipulating your soulmate will realize they are losing their grip. They will escalate their attacks, but their efforts will fail because heaven has already secured the victory. Jesus says your soulmate is about to have a breakthrough dream. In this dream, they will see your face clearly for the first time. They will wake up with a certainty that burns like fire in their bones. This dream will give them the strength to make a difficult decision. They will begin planning their escape from the situation that has held them captive. They will take steps that seem small but lead to monumental change. But this breakthrough is contingent on your participation. Dreams are fueled by prayer. Revelations are sustained by seed. If you delay your response, the dream may fade before it can produce fruit. If you hesitate, the interference will seize the opportunity to reinforce its lies. The window is open now, but it will not remain open indefinitely. Jesus says your soulmate is pacing in their room right now. They are wrestling with a decision that will determine the trajectory of their life. Should they stay in the familiar prison or risk everything for a love they have only felt in dreams? They need a sign. They need a confirmation. They need the supernatural reinforcement that only your faith can provide. When you sow your seed, heaven releases that confirmation. Your soulmate will experience something they cannot explain away. A stranger will say something that echoes your future conversations. A scripture will appear that speaks directly to their situation. A song will play that contains the exact words they needed to hear. These are not coincidences. These are divine appointments orchestrated by the God who wants your union to manifest. These are the fingerprints of a father who delights in bringing his children together. Jesus says the interference is preparing its final argument. This person will sit your soulmate down for a serious conversation within the next few days. They will present logical reasons why this love cannot work. They will mention the age difference as though it is an insurmountable obstacle. They will list practical concerns that sound reasonable but are rooted in fear. They will paint a picture of failure and heartbreak designed to extinguish hope. Your soulmate needs a counter-narrative. They need the truth to be louder than the lies. They need your spiritual covering to create a bubble of protection around their discernment. Jesus says this is where your role becomes critical. You are not just waiting for your soulmate, you are fighting for them. You are not passive, you are a warrior whose weapons are prayer and seed and declaration. When you send your coffee, you are saying to heaven that this love matters. You are saying to darkness that its schemes will not prevail. You are saying to your soulmate, without words, that you are coming for them and nothing will stop you. Your soulmate will feel that declaration across the miles. They will sit up straighter in their chair. They will look the interference in the eye and speak with an authority that is not their own. This authority is yours, transferred to them through spiritual connection. Your faith becomes their strength. Your courage becomes their shield. Jesus says this is the mystery of divine partnership. You are already functioning as one even before you meet. Your actions affect their reality. Your obedience determines their freedom. Do not underestimate the power you carry. Do not dismiss the urgency of this moment. Your soulmate is at a tipping point, and your response to this message will determine which way they fall. If you sow now, they fall into freedom. If you delay, they fall back into confusion. The choice is literally in your hands at this very moment. Jesus says the link in the description is not random. It was placed there by divine orchestration. It represents the door through which your breakthrough will enter. Every testimony of a soulmate restored began with an act of faith. Every couple united after long separation can trace their victory back to a moment of obedience. This is your moment, and what you do with it will become the testimony you share together. Your soulmate is younger, but madly in love with you. They are fighting a battle they barely understand. They are holding on with strength they did not know they possessed. But even the strongest fighter needs reinforcements. Even the bravest heart grows weary without hope of rescue. You are that reinforcement, you are that rescue, you are the answer to the prayer they have not stopped praying. Jesus says go now. Jesus says do not let this video end without responding. Jesus says your soulmate's breakthrough and your future together hang in the balance of this single decision. Type your declaration in the comments. Sow your seed through the link. Write those words that release heaven's protection over the one you love. Protect my soulmate, Lord. For words that shift the spiritual realm. For words that dispatch angels and confuse the enemy. For words that your soulmate will feel as a warm embrace across the distance. Jesus says they are feeling something right now. A warmth spreading through their chest. A peace they cannot explain. They do not know you are responding to this message, but their spirit knows help is on the way. Do not let them down. Be the hero of this love story. Step into your role as the protector, the provider, the one who fights for what God has ordained. Jesus says, I have given you everything you need to secure this victory. Now He waits for you to use what you have been given. The next move is yours, and heaven holds its breath in anticipation of your response.